Nobody has ever been in a post-pandemic society ever. But when money starts to become a question, we don't stop spending. We just focus on what gives us the greatest value.
This is an excellent opportunity for us, because then your marketing and your messaging is going to be better. And then your retention and the value of which you give your clients is going to be better.
The advertising, the Facebook ads, all of that, and focus with the people you've already got.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of Clarity with Sims Media. Today, we're going to be chatting about marketing and where to put your energy and attention when it seems like the economy is coming down and there's a lot of talk of approaching a recession or that we're already in one. And so when we hear those words, a lot of people think that they're going to cut back on their marketing budget. And really, that's the first thing that a lot of businesses think to draw back on. So we want to chat about what should you be focusing on in terms of marketing and how can you actually make it work for you during this supposed period.
It's a funny old bunch of statements that you've said there. And I fully agree with it, but everyone's saying, hey, we're in a recession, a depression, a distraction, a distort. What the f*** are we in? We don't know. Yeah. No one's ever been in this before. Nobody has ever been in a post-pandemic society ever. Okay? So bottom line of it is we don't know what to call it other than a distraction. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if we focus on the distraction, everyone's trying to go, well, we've been in this situation before. No, we ain't. No one ever has. But it's like you're trying to save weight on a car by removing the wheels. That's what people are doing today in marketing. And anytime that anyone gets into a state of confusion, distraction, distortion, they go, well, okay, money's getting tight now. I have to be careful. Mm-hmm. Always focus on the output, impact, and value of what you're spending. Okay? You should always do that. I actually will say loud and proud, I don't like it when all's going good. I get uncomfortable when money's coming in hand over fist and everyone gets complacent and stupid. No one pays attention to value when we're all making the greens too fast. But when money starts to become a question, we don't stop spending. We just focus on what gives us the greatest value. So when you've got a problem and all of the people out there that have got your solution suddenly start getting scared that we're in a recession, depression, the first thing they cut back on is marketing. Now, if you are a solution to somebody's problem and everyone else out there has actually slowed up their marketing budget, the marketing budget you are spending actually has a tenfold greater reach. Now, when we've got a situation where everyone's spending money in advertising, then you've actually got to get your voice out there while everyone else is shouting. But when they start shutting up and it's quiet, more people hear you. In today's world, whatever you want to bloody label it and call it, you've got to spend more time, more focus, and not necessarily more money on getting a greater reach out there. You've just got to be there because you'll already be heard more. How many people do you know come to us, Henry, and they're the first thing that, well, you know, I'm a bit concerned about money. Good. You always should be. Mm-hmm. And I want my company to do really well. But the first thing I'm going to do by making it do really well is not promote or market it.
Yeah.
How many people do we hear say that?
Oh, yeah, a ton. And I love your analogy of taking the wheels off of the car. I haven't heard that one before, but it is.
I just made it up.
Well, it's perfect. It's a perfect example because marketing is that element that brings in the attention and the business. So if you cut that part off, how do you bring in the business that's going to keep things alive? And so, like you said, we are already in a very heavy competition world where everyone's competing for our attention. And so this is an opportunity for you to look at how effective are you putting out your message And then as people are drawing back out of fear, you do have that opportunity to reach your audience with less competition. So you do still need to pay attention to your message and optimize things. And that's the beauty of where challenges, they force us to do that. They force us to look at how we can do things better. But there is an opportunity to go out and reach more people. When COVID, all the lockdowns and all that happened, there was a lot of fear around that. A lot of people were pulling back budgets then as well. And we thought to ourselves, with the amount of people that are now going to be remote at home on devices, spending way more time there, we thought this is an excellent opportunity for us to get our voices out even more so, because everyone's going to be on their devices more than ever. And so that's what we did. We put our marketing out harder to reach more people in a time where people were going to be on devices more, but also there was a lot of fear. And so people were pulling back their marketing budgets. So we stepped forward at that point and we capitalized from that. And so you have to think the same. These little challenges and little bits of fear that are coming into place are great to get you to refine your messaging and make sure that you are offering something of value to your audience. But definitely taking advantage of when people are pulling back, you keep moving forward, or even harder, to capitalize on gaining that attention with less competition around you.
I want to touch on budget, okay? Because a lot of people say, oh, my budget. Look at your time. If you can dedicate an hour a day to being more engaged on your social, that's free of charge. If you could actually dedicate, an hour a week to be on someone else's podcast, that's distribution. There are so many different ways of actually getting your message. I was just saying to Henry, I've done 4 podcasts this morning. How much did they cost me? Zip. When the podcast comes out, you'll actually start to see people following you, and you can reach out. Oh, how did you hear about it? Well, funny enough, I saw you on Jay's podcast. The bottom line of it is that you don't necessarily have to be paying outside of your focus on effort and energy. Start getting more entangled within your social by demonstrating the solution you provide, and maybe doing live IGs with clients going, hey, you had this problem. How did it help? Get those kind of testimonials. The thing today that bothers me is that people aren't spending less. They're just questioning where they spend. And in a world like today, where money is important, they can see through your shit fast. So you've got to focus on your value. I've never seen a lot of people actually have problems in their business during these kind of recessions when they have a solid value, a solid benefit to you. When it's all like snake oil and that kind of shit, those are always going to go by the wayside, and so they should.
Yeah, we get to be creative, and it does, when we can capitalize on that, when we can push through just that little bit more and make it through a tough dip, then we're going to have even more opportunity on the outside of it. But also, when you said about the podcasting and dedicating a little bit of time to your social, content in general is a great free way of you to still continue to engage with your audience and go past it. So like those 2 elements of your social media and then the podcast guesting, like you talked about, social media is a great hub for you to put out your own content and continue to engage with your current audience and nurture them into your business. But then when you look at the podcast guesting, that is an opportunity to reach further and get out to new people and new eyeballs. And then they land into your social and your website, and they continue to build with you within there. So creating content is something that you can consistently do and need to consistently do, because it's not going to cost you anything, but it is one of those elements where people need to be able to learn more about you and engage with you to build that trust necessary to keep business alive. So those 2 elements of social media being this great organic hub to continue to build and nurture your audience, but then podcast guesting being an amazing way of getting out into new audiences and capturing their attention to build your current one. So that's another great way where you're not spending money, you're just taking the time to reach out to new audiences and then take the time to build a relationship with them.
Now, we don't do these for long, and so if anyone's got any questions and they want to throw a question into the comment, then we'll look to actually answer it. But the thing that always makes me giggle, and I'm a type, it's kind of weird. I'll spend money on what I see value in. You know, I won't spend, you know this, I won't spend over $50 on sneakers, but I'll spend $1,000 on a nut and bolt for my bike. You know, it's where you see value. I'm always stunned at how people will actually try to throw money at the problem that they don't really have. You'll get people come along to us and they'll be like, oh, you know, I want to get my marketing out there. I want to get my brand out there. And we'll look at that social that they are ignoring, but they've got a 50 grand budget on Facebook ads. And we're like, hang on a minute. If you don't focus on your brand first, you're going to market a bad message, you know? And guess what? This over here doesn't take 50 grand. You know, I want people that can actually solve my problem. Show up how you can and be you. Tell me how you can do it, and I'm on board. And then you can always boost those postings. So why is it we're in a state where people, they're happy to throw money at the problem rather than actually doing something about it themselves on free platforms?
Maybe it's just a comfort in passing off the responsibility.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone likes to delegate. It's your problem now. There you go. I'm paying you 10 grand. It's amazing how many people that go, well, there you go. I'll give you all of that money. Make me look fantastic. Okay, we get that. We get that a lot. Well, I want to look impressive. I want to look as though I'm the main influencer. Yet they won't do about it, and they're still posting pictures of our cat. It's ridiculous today how people ignore the basic stuff. Again, take it back to a car analogy. It's like trying to have a Ferrari race around a racetrack on wooden wheels. Mm-hmm. What you put out is your support, is your foundations. Build from there. But if your support and foundation is artificial, superficial, and basically shit, you're not going to be able to get anywhere, and it ain't going to stand. It's going to be a house of cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, those are great methods of outreach, continued fostering of audiences that are not yet doing business with you, but also looking internally to the current clients that you do have. How do you improve the retention of your clients? And also even the referrals of your clients. Those are other ways to look inside of your business in which it's no cost to you, like advertising, lead gen, all that costs a certain amount of money. If you can look into your business and look at how do I increase the value that I'm giving to my clients to increase how long that they stick around with me, then you're automatically increasing the value of your business and each client already. But then at the same time, if they're able to benefit from referring clients to you, or you have something in place for that, you're bettering the value of each of your existing clients, and they're doing the marketing for you by bringing you already relevant clientele. And so that is another area of looking, not just how do I bring in more business, but how do I increase the value and longevity of the business that I've already created? And that's another area to look, is how do I look externally at capturing attention and bringing it in? And then how do I increase the value of that business within so that they stick around even longer? Those are two other areas that you can focus on when it comes time to look at how do I bring in more money, or how do I keep more money in times where financial areas are a little scary.
We actually run a little blurb way back. I can't remember. I think we were in Austin maybe a year ago or something like that. And I was talking about know your number. and we did a little blurb on social about it. And it's one of the common things that we talk about in our speakeasies about know your number. Now, if you're selling a widget, if you're selling a nut and bolt, if you're selling a book, then yeah, you can get a million orders and it'll impact you financially for the good, but you won't have any extra to do. Okay. But most of our businesses are actually service businesses where it takes our involvement, whether it be coaching, whether it be building up platforms, marketing, advertising, promotion. It takes people. Mm-hmm. And when any of your industries take people, take time, take hours, you've got to know what your number is. And we've used this. We were working with a bunch of chiropractors a while ago. And I said to one of the guys, because he said he wanted to do more. And I said, what's your number? And he turned around and he went, I'm looking for 2 million followers on YouTube or something. And it was a very strange response I got. And I went, why do you want 2 million? Because I want more clients. Well, let's get back to the question I asked you. What is your number? And he said, what's the, I said, how many clients do you want? And I remember him saying something like 20. Mm-hmm. And I said, so you want 20 clients for your business? He said, yeah, I want the right clients. I want them doing my top level. I just said, well, that's all positioning and marketing. When you want the right clients, you speak to the right clients. You don't want the right clients, but market to clients. So speak to the right clients that you want for a start. But knowing your number, he wanted 20. So I said to him, okay, let me get this right. You want to get 2 million followers because you think that's going to give you 20 clients. But more importantly, could you handle 20 clients if they walked into your business on Monday? And he was like, yeah. And I said, no, seriously. If they all knocked on your door 9 o'clock in the morning, they all wanted sorting, could you handle 20 clients? And he went, no. So how many clients can you take? And he said, 5. I said, so, okay, 5 new clients Monday, 5 new clients the following Monday. You could do that for 4 weeks and then you're stopped, you're stacked. And he went, yeah, that'd be great. So his number wasn't 2 million. It wasn't 20. It was 5. Mm-hmm. And if you can't get 5 referrals out of the people you're dealing with, then you've got a business. So the advertising, the Facebook ads, all of that, and focus with the people you've already got to get 5. You got to ask yourself in your business today, before you start worrying about the big depression that's out there, how many clients do you want, need, and more importantly, can service, can handle to the pedigree that you want to be able to do them? Know your number, and then ask yourself, where's that number sitting? More than likely, it's sitting in the phone book of the clients that already love you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing of when we have any times where we have a little bit of fear as to how we're going to move through any kind of financial buckle. We just need to start thinking more simplistic. And that's a lot of what we try to bring to all of our clients is some clarity and simplicity to why we're doing what we're doing to be able to reach the people we want to reach, rather than just being starry-eyed into the new shiny Facebook ad strategy and all of that. So we need to just look at what is the purpose of what we're doing? What is our number? And then how can we talk to those people in the most effective, easy way possible? So that's where you start looking at, is there a particular podcast that if I get onto that podcast, it's going to have my exact audience? That's a method to look at putting your time and energy into. So really, a lot of it is just to simplify what your true goal is, and then start working backwards from that as to how do I reach those people and how do I provide the most value I possibly can to them? Because then your marketing and your messaging is going to be better, and then your retention and the value of which you give your clients is going to be better. So this is an opportunity for us to just analyze every element of what we do. Are we doing our business as effectively as possible? Are we communicating with our audience as effectively as possible? And are our systems good? Are we actually keeping a lot of the money that we bring in? It's
a great time. They say that great sailors are made with rough seas. there's a lot of distortion, distraction. I will accept those terms. I will not accept recession. I will not accept depression, but I will accept that there is a distortion going on. This is a great time for you to shine as long as you've got the good value. These Facebook Lives are for you. We don't do them for long. They're just short and sharp. But if you've got questions, I say Facebook, they're everywhere. If you've got questions, if you want us to discuss, or if you want to reach out to sims.media and actually ask a question directly to us, we're actually quite nice people. And if the question's interesting, we may actually even answer it. So do make sure the conversation's out there, because we want you to be impactful. We want you to grow, and we want you to benefit. Any final statements, Henry?
No, I don't think so. I think that sums it all up nicely.
All right, then, folks, be good, be strong, do things differently, but stay positive, because that's the first thing that's going to get you down when you lose your mindset. All the best. Yep. Peace out.
Take care.